Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This one is going to be a 2 versus 2 on the Boneyard, and it will be between Vitamin, the red Zerg player, and ONEwbc, the teal Terran, and those both players that I have cast before, and their opponents will be xSpherexRKO. So it's probably, his name is probably Sphere or RKO, I don't know. One of those is probably a clan. Who knows? You know what, man? Whatever. His teammate is going to be cVoTetragon. So I'll probably call this guy Tetragon, the blue Protoss. And I'll probably call this guy Sphere. And it's going to be ZP versus ZT. And something to note on this map, I've only played a few games on this map, but I recently realized that it does not force a cross spawn. So all the games I've played on this map have been cross-spawn. I don't know why that is, because apparently it's not always cross-spawn. Anyway, it's going to be a top left and a bottom left spawn. And ZT versus ZP. So what do we have going on here? ONEwbc, I've cast a couple of his games before. Definitely an extremely strong Terran player. Anyone with a giant 1 in front of their name is good. You know that. And Vitamin, a solid Zerg player. And so I expect to see a pretty exciting game here. I don't know anything about this top team, but I assume that they're definitely up there in skill. And it looks like, oh, we're having some conversation here about casting the game. And I don't know if somebody's streaming or what is going on. Okay, apparently I'm not the only one. Excuse me, apparently I'm not the only one that is casting this game or has cast it, because Sphere is asking them permission to cast the game before they even are playing it. So, yeah, his name is Sphere. See how good I am? I know my shit, man. Either way, Tetragon will be throwing down that cyber core. We're not seeing any double gateway. No double gateway. And 2 racks for ONEwbc on the front. This probe being super annoying, so the SUV will continue to chase it around so it does not. Oh, it looks like WBC letting a scout out here and ended up letting the probe get away. So that is okay. Meanwhile, Vitamin has taken a fast expansion down here, nearing completion. And you always want to take a fast expansion on this map. That is my impression. Anytime you get a map where you have the expansion location that is this protected, this is about as safe as you can possibly get for an expansion. So you want to grab it quick, and it's really easy for Zerg to get the fast expansion. So just give it to the Zerg. If you don't have a Zerg, somebody take it. Just man up like the top team. Somebody is going to have to take this. They do have a Zerg though. So surprise, Sphere has not opted to take that. So we'll see if Tetragon ends up taking it or what. Excuse my phlegm issues there. It looks like this SCP will eventually die. This Roach didn't want to kill it. Queen will. Queen will take that honors. And alrighty then. So what is Sphere is stacking all his overlords down here. I really don't like this. I don't like this at all. Overlords need to be used to scout. I realize there's a bunch of Marines and stuff, but you could at least put it over here, so that you will be able to scout with ONEwbc what kind of tech he will be going for shortly. Or put one back behind here and do something sneaky. Like a Nidus Worm. I don't see enough Nidus Worms in this game. Definitely not. But it looks like the top team, that's why they didn't expand, because they're going to be aggressive. We have a proxy pylon going down in front of the grass here. Interesting placement. I would probably have put it behind the grass, but the one nice thing about being in front of the grass is you can warp in units way up here when you need to, and we are going to warp in 4 stalkers and go straight up to attack this. But look at the defenses right now for WBC. This is just a really bad idea to try and attack. He will be able to, it looks like Tetragon will be able to shoot these buildings here as long as he can get vision. You see this zealot being placed fairly up there so that the stalkers can shoot away at the buildings. And so ONEwbc may actually, well, you see him switching zealots to get that vision. Nicely done there, but he may have to lift off these barracks here at some point and move them back so that these bunkers, yeah, can actually fight. This barracks is going to have to get lifted off. You see him canceling all the production there. It looks like the barracks, however, is going to go down before he can lift it off. So already, bottom team in a bit of trouble. Vitamin going for that fast expansion is not going to have many units to help. He does have 9 roaches, though, about to pop out. So just in the nick of time, it looks like they will be able to defend this. And ONEwbc may have to pull out some more SCVs to repair. He does have 4 of them up here. And here we go, trying to break this down. 1 bunker goes down, a 2nd bunker goes down. The SCV is coming a little bit late here for WBC. All the bunkers have gone down. Vitamin, it does have 9 roaches on the field, trying to fight and focus down these stalkers as quickly as he can, but he is going to have to be, he's going to be forced to fall back onto the creep here to fight these zealots. And meanwhile, all the buildings for ONEwbc at the front are getting taken out. And bottom team in a lot of trouble right now. It looks like drones are going to be have to be used to fight here. Vitamin pulling the drones off to try and provide some cover for these roaches. Lots of drones are going down right now. The queen being pulled off the expansion even to try and fight. 1 queen goes down here in the back. Stalkers looks like are going to be able to take out the 2nd queen. More roaches are out now for Vitamin. It looks like there are enough roaches to ward this attack back, but so many drones died. And all of WBC's buildings, except for this 1 barracks here, have gone down. He's even starting a STEM research on this tech lab. That is serious balls right there, because this tech lab could get taken out so quickly. It looks like he may actually have to cancel that. Sphere sending some Zerglings up in here. It looks like, is this going to get canceled? Or I think, yeah, there goes the cancel on the tech lab. The tech lab will get taken out. More and more stalkers coming in. The top team relentlessly trying to end the game right now. This is crazy intense. Vitamin being forced to micro his roaches all over the place and split them up to avoid getting surrounded, using the cover of the middle line. Meanwhile, ONEwbc has practically nothing going on here. He's trying to pump out some Marines, and it's so hard to manage when you have only a few Marines. They are so useless. You need to get them in mass. And WBC just doesn't have any economy going now. He's lost all of his SCVs. The only thing they have going right now is Vitamin and this base in the back. And he is just mass producing roaches as best he can. It looks like he has finished roach speed, so that will be huge as long as he can keep fighting on this creep and trying to stay away from these zealots. He will be able to pick off these couple of zealots. And as long as he can hold, if he can hold, they may have a chance in this game. Because the top team has not expanded at all. More zealots and stalkers being warped in for Tetragon. Just relentless attack right now. Trying to focus down the low hit point. Roaches doing a pretty nice job there. More Zerglings streaming in. But it does not look like there's going to be enough. The top team may have to fall back because Vitamin, so many roaches being pumped out, that he should be able to hold this ramp now. And oh, Tetragon getting a little ahead of himself, running right up into the roaches. When you're fighting roaches with stalkers, you want to try and stay at max range as much as possible. And there it goes. This attack will get warded back. Vitamin will be chasing that. No, he's going to turn around and take out the proxy pylon. Wow, that was pretty intense beginning there. A nice hold from Vitamin. It looks like, if you notice, share control has gone off. I'm not sure if it had gone off before, but I noticed WBC taking control of those roaches for a second, and now going to be flying his barracks back up to the front, and all these roaches should be able to hold the front. And now the top team is definitely going to need to expand here. Robo facility is going down for Tetragon. And warping in a couple of sentries here to avoid the counterattack, but the bottom team just doesn't have enough to make a counterattack. There's no way. WBC has to get himself back into this game. So I was going to say that the top team, normally I would say the top team is behind in economy, but they're really not, because they killed all of WBC's army. What is Sphere doing? He is trying to run Zerglings into the expansion to snipe out some drones, and he may be able to kill a couple here, but really not worth it, it looks like. I'm not so sure about this attack from Sphere. There's way too many roaches here. All the Zerglings are going to die, and I don't think they killed any drones, maybe one. And Vitamin has managed to resaturate his main mineral line and throwing down the infestation pit. He's definitely going to need to get some more drones on the gas if he plans to do anything with that, as you can see him just now transferring those. He may opt to take a third. It could be a good time to take a third. He's got a lot of extra minerals, and the top team doesn't look to be pushing anytime soon. As Sphere is still on hatchery tech, and just now making some roaches. So Sphere way behind right now. And now Vitamin being controlled here by WBC. It looks like wants to try and break this front, but a nice burrow there to get out, because the force field is pretty sweet, but the burrow trumps the force fields. And so no upgrades on the roaches, but there is, did I mention there's an immortal in this army so strong against roaches? So Vitamin may have to think about a tech switch here eventually. He is going to get those infestors, and he may need to research neural parasite if Tetragon continues to get some immortals. I'm not so sure he will, though. He does have 2 immortals, but neural parasite is definitely the way to go against the immortals if you're going to stick with Roach Infester. Roach Infester is so powerful, you guys. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how to deal with it on Protoss. Immortals are pretty strong, but if the Zerg is as good micro, it's just so difficult. As it looks like they're actually going to be pushing out here. Still have not taken this base in the back. It looks like Tetragon does have a probe sitting waiting to take that base, but still have not taken that base, and that really could come back to bite them in the ass here pretty soon. But nice creep spreading going on now for Vitamin. Will provide vision of this attack, so he knows what is going on here. He's got a ton of roaches. No infestors are out yet. He has finished the pathogen glands, but still a few seconds on these infestors, so he needs to try and hold this until the infestors can come out. And here goes the Guardian Shield. The Immortals need to get into the front so they can hit some of these roaches. His roach is so fast from Vitamin, just shooting and scooting back and forth. Nice dodge of the force fields right there. There goes 1 fungal growth, but not doing much at all, only catching 2 roaches there and revealing it at the same time. So unfortunately for Vitamin, that fungal growth will not be doing much. He wants to get a fungal growth right on the meat of this Protoss army if he can. And here goes some pretty nice force fields there, keeping the roaches at bay. And one immortal ends up fighting the Marines there. Not the best use of the immortal there, but it's definitely easier said than done, especially against these super fast roaches. Look at WBC straight up balling with his Marines, just charging out there. And now Vitamin will be getting this around with the roaches. Look at the force fields going all over the place, but he can burrow if he wants to. He doesn't even need to burrow. Sniping down the infestors is Tetragon pretty nicely, but there are so many roaches. He is not going to be able to hold this off. And now the top team is way behind now, because WBC has caught up to at least normal income here. And just now, the expansion going down for Tetragon. Vitamin sees that. He did get a changeling up in here with that Overseer. I don't know what happened to it. It's over here now. So good job of noticing the timing there. So it would be a good time, possibly for the bottom team, to attack here in a minute or two. As Tetragon is trying to expand it. Oh man, he's already down to 5 mineral patches. And meanwhile, Sphere somehow still has all these minerals in his main and has not been mining the best here. Another changeling sitting inside this army. And there's even an observer to see the changeling, but still not noticing it. And oh man, that is just that is really sad. I have been the victim of that, and plenty of times we're pinging it. I'm not sure what we're pinging, why we're pinging that. Possibly just laughing about the fact that this changeling is with the observer right there is not being seen. WBC trying to finally take an expansion, and he will be morphing into an orbital command. So not even worried about the planetary fortress there. And now Vitamin and WBC looking to be aggressive here. WBC actually has some army now, a couple of tanks and marauders in here. And that is going to really make the difference. There are 5 infestors here as well, with plenty of energy. No neural parasite, but I don't think he is going to need it, as there are no more immortals in this army, and there's practically nothing left here. For Tetragon, he's warping in some high Templars though in the back as the tanks have sieged up for WBC. They start shelling away here, and the Changeling, again, just providing the vision of the high ground as well as the Overseer. So once these buildings are down, the force fields will be rendered much less effective, and top team will be in huge trouble. Vitamin continue to stream up some more infestors, and this is dire straits for the top team right now, as we are just waiting for the inevitable. The Sphere is still sitting on one base, 21 minutes into the game, and they really failed to take, the top team really failed to take advantage of when they put WBC on the ropes. Credit to Vitamin for holding off with the roaches in desperation. But now it looks like this game is just about done. A couple of Hydras coming out here. That is not going to do much. I hate to break it to you, Sphere, but it looks like it's just a matter of time here. I'm waiting for... Oh, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to do this right now? We are morphing in Broodlords. You better believe it. And once these finish, the game finishes. But we gotta watch it, you know. Psystorm finishing for Tetragon, so he may be able to do a little bit of damage, but with those storms, he has 5 High Templars. Problem is, I just don't think this army up here is beefy enough to handle. There's just way too much. Broodlords, so strong, going to lead the way. And now going to be warping in some Stalkers as Tetragon. There's only a few Hydras and Stalkers. Stalker is going to be desperately trying to focus down at these Broodlords. That is not going to happen. Fungal growths going off all over the place. And are we getting some feedbacks? There's no feedbacks. There's a couple of side storms going off. GGs go down. Top team leaves the game. So a pretty exciting game there, especially at the beginning, man. I don't know how they stayed alive at the beginning. That was super intense. So well played. Thank you, Vitamin, for sending me this game. It was a pleasure to cast. And that is going to do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.